The Federal Communications Commission is the agency of jurisdiction in the United States that essentially measures and also oversees broadband deployment for the general public. And by the FCC's estimates, we know that approximately 20 million people are still in need of the basic minimum broadband connectivity. However, private research estimates show that that number is actually above 100 million people. Whether it's closer to 20 million or 100 or 160 million, what we know is that we have millions of Americans who do not have the basic connectivity on this day to participate in baseline activities that we don't even think twice about. Being able to get online to connect with your doctor and review your x-rays, being able to apply for a mortgage application, being able to actually participate in a video learning platform or to video conference with your colleagues at work. All of those opportunities are essentially denied to people who cannot get the requisite broadband connectivity. So why does that matter to you? It matters when we have anywhere up to a third of the US population that cannot participate in a digital society. It has an economic impact. It impacts the amount of people that will remain in need if they don't have the educational and also the health opportunities just for overall well-being. It matters when we're talking about engaging with citizens to be able to, whether it's connecting with other people in your communities, getting real-time information, it still matters. So I always want to remind people that while the people watching these types of videos and the people who often engage in the docket or participate in policymaking, often those people are already connected and essentially already have a voice. But we have millions of stakeholders who are essentially silenced in these policymaking conversations, but we are going to have to find a way to connect them. Otherwise, we're all going to pay a cost for them remaining disconnected. It doesn't matter what level of government, local, state, and federal, acknowledging that high-speed connectivity is an actual requirement for meaningful participation in a digital society. Once we get past that point when we can acknowledge that it's a need, then I think that it's easier to decide on where those resources should come from and where those resources need to be assigned. You know, for us, we always want to be thinking about what are we doing to create solutions that every single resident can actually not just open an email account or do the basics, but really to actually be actively a participant in organizations, in civic engagement, being able to interact with their elected officials, being able to have robust communications on digital platforms, especially those that go beyond what you could do really on your cell phone. So when we think about long-term solutions, I think that's going to require investment in infrastructure, meaning that, we're putting in the work, the networking, the thoughtfulness, and thinking about what are the solutions that we need to get the requisite wireline and networking to communities. I think that there's also an adoption piece that is going to involve really partnering with community institutions to make sure that underserved populations or unserved populations as well actually have the tools that they need to take advantage of connectivity. Sometimes when I'm thinking about where we are right now, I think a lot about the fact that we don't have all of the answers for what's next. We don't have a consensus for how we need to get there. But what we do know is that we actually all have to come together to start working on solutions. That's immediate. That's not later. That's not hopefully we'll come up with some ideas on another day. That's right now in front of us, that we're at a crossroads where people actually have the option to decide on how people get connected, what communities need to get connected, what do we need to make that happen. I encourage every single person within reach to really think carefully about where you fit into that ecosystem and how we value the people that are disconnected.